Today we've hit some very nice trades, 50-point win here on NQ. And then with our ATR bounce, we went ahead and pushed all the way up for over 100 points on this trade, getting in right here at the ATR. We hit over 6 points with this trade. It's starting to push up a little bit more. I'm still holding. Gonna see if it can hit 7.5 points in this NQ trade here right now. We'll see if it keeps pushing up, but this was a very nice trade. We took a small risk of only 3 points, making over 6 points over 24 ticks on here. This one, another pretty small risk of 30 points on this trade. So we are securing. So this is pushing up a little bit more. We'll see if it can hit a little bit more, but this was just a scalp, but it followed our method and it's starting to push up more. We'll see how NQ follows here, or if it does. If it pushes up a little bit more, if it gets to 8 points, then I'm going to trim half my position and go ahead and take that. So but yeah, already a really nice day, securing over 170 points on NQ. We'll see if this can get up to 8 so I can trim half. This high, it has to break above that high if we want to go further, but we got a nice pullback and impulse off of it. So if it continues, that'll be really nice. Yeah, another thing about our impulse ATR bounce, which was nice. Okay, so we hit that 8, trimmed half. Was the nice 15-minute sweep and then push above. So I did get down on the ATR bounce here, but another great place to enter would be getting above this area of consolidation right here as an entry as well. And that's just one of the things that we focus on. Yeah, NQ and ES, we have these lines to visualize price action, right? And so we had this moment where we're getting lower highs and higher lows, and then breaking out of that was, part of our confirmation. We could have gotten in here after this pullback here because of the momentum. We did a better job getting in on the pullback after the breaking momentum of ES, but so we would be in a much better position on NQ if we got in after this pullback here instead of waiting for this pullback. So let's see. I'm going to aim up here for about 12 points on ES to possibly take another quarter trim. If you look back here, getting above this high is important. And if we get above that high, then we can get above here, easily getting to that 12 points of that area right there. So basically this high right here. So we are getting above that high. Now we just kind of got to get up to this position here in order to secure those points. So we'll see if we can get that. But it's been a, Monday after 4th of July. Yeah, I mean, you could argue there was a couple of, pullback price action areas like this one that we didn't get on. This was all slop, but technically we could have, after it broke out, we could have gotten on this one. I just didn't like it yet because I didn't see a strong impulsive candle prior to our move. These impulse candles basically are telling us, hey, there's volume happening right here. So our NQ trade is still holding these lows right here, which is good, which is what's making me not take it out at break even right now. But yeah, the truth is that much better position if we would have gotten in here. So this trade still has some strength to it. Also, it's above our AI guided band, which works wonders. And if you combine it with your price action knowledge, break, retest, it is money. Okay, we're pushing up on NQ. We're up about 22 points, which is pretty good, but I want to see it get up above these highs here. We got good momentum with all those green candles in a row. I know it's the 1 minute, but shows good momentum on the lower time frame. ES is still showing good price action, holding those lows. So again, our system is stupid simple. It's only, for the one we use during live trading, 5 steps, stupid simple, all guided by price action and AI. And then we have our bootcamp strategies that if you've gone through bootcamp, that's how you can get into these plays like I did this morning for 120 points on that ATR bound bounce. There we go. Okay. So I'm trimming 50% here on the NQ trade. It's finally building some momentum. Maybe we can fire ourselves off to another 100-point trade here. So we'll raise this up. We've gotten to 41 points. Now I want to do some due diligence, look left here on the 15-minute or the 30-minute to look at where are our areas that we could possibly be pushing up to. So we have this high that we got to get above and then right there. But we're already pushing up, doing well. And we'll see if our ES trade can get up to our 12 points. But I think that if we get above this high right here of 79, we could push up to the 100. And let's see where that puts us in our profit position. So if we can get above 79, we can get up to 100. Not quite a 100-point trade, but if we keep pushing, this is an area that we could definitely get in the way. The only things that are going to be standing in our way are, that high there at 79 and then above, and then the ATR band right here. So we'll see if we can get pushing, but we're very green on the day with 120-point win, 50-point win. And then over here, we got our, we trimmed half. This was a scalp because we were risking only about 3 points, but Still did good. Let's put this at our entry so it shows the actual. I don't know why I keep saying it stopped out. Okay, so it's having trouble closing above this high, but I mean, it's slow price action today, so probably going to pause here for a second just to see how these candles keep pushing. Let's see if our AI band holds or if it goes below that. It is starting to slope a little bit down to the downside. If it holds and continues to push up, then that's what we need to see here. So, like I said, I already trimmed out half this position up here, but we would have been in better positioning if we would have gotten in over here and had more room for this trade to work itself out. But normally I'd trim more at that take profit area, like this trade where we were out. But since we're up so green on the day, I want to give these trades a little bit of room to breathe. But if this AI band doesn't hold, it probably is an indication that we're going to go ahead and need to close NQ at least. And, much better positioning on the ES trade. So it'll give us more room to see if it actually is going to break down or if it's going to go back to the upside here. So yeah, the band is still green, but we are sloping to the downside now. We're flat on ES, which is not bad. That's just a pullback. It could easily go back up. But if it starts sloping down, then that's when we want to start thinking about getting out. So basically, because I trimmed half where we're at, if it does stop out, that means this is just kind of a trade that basically nothing happened. And we're at that point as well on ES. So go ahead. But we did hit TP on both of these, so please throw a 1 in chat if you took these trades and you were able to score your take profit areas. We want to give our trades a chance to run, but if they don't, they don't. So very nice. Got some money makers in there. Love it. AI band is starting to turn red here, so but yeah, I'm already up so much that I'm not worried about letting this trade just go down and basically be a no trade. Yeah, ES trade. If it hits break even, yeah, we're out of that trade. So we we made some money on this one. This one, I'm still letting it work out. Like if it goes down here, it goes down here, whatever. But so basically today we had a break even here. We had opportunities for a better positioning down here based on our system. But again, it just with all the chop, I preferred to wait for that impulse and a pullback. Made some money on that one. 100 points here, 50 points here. So I'm going to let this NQ trade work itself out and see how far we can get. Oh, there it went. It went to those lows and bounced right back up there. So I guess we became liquidity right there. So this ES trade is getting pretty close back to that area where I trimmed half. But I'm being patient on this one. I just think that we have the price action to keep going and get up. So like I said, getting above these highs and above the ATR band, that 79 area that we talked about, that's another place that we got to get above if we want to get all the way up here to that 3100 level. So far that high rejected right there. So I think I'm going to pause again and see how these candles work themselves out. I'm done with positions for the day, but that was a good position right here to go ahead and get in for ES for it to go ahead and get over the highs. So we'll go ahead and put that there. Stop loss. See if we can get up to these highs. You know, it's got a couple highs it's got to push above, but the band went back to green. It got a nice impulse candle. We got a nice pullback and a good reaction off of that pullback. So it's a quick one. Looking at another scalp opportunity, but we'll see how this works out. If you want to put on more risk but let your trade work out more, you could go below this low. So again, I'm going to pause real quick to see if we can wait to get a break above this high for NQ, see if it keeps going. Yeah, today is just, you know, normal after 4th of July weekend kind of price action. All right, so we got to push above these highs. Here's another call out that happened. See if it can push up or not. And what we're looking for on NQ is to hold above these highs. If it can't, then yeah, so it doesn't look like it's holding above the highs. Yeah, so it wasn't able to hold above the high for that minute. So I'm going to pause here again to see, but we are getting higher low. The band is holding, and so it's just slow slop today, but that's all right. All right, so this ES trade has hit our 1-to-1 area a little above 1-to-1 twice. So we are scooting our stuff to break even. You know, quick scalp, nothing crazy. We're aiming for 5 points here on this ES trade. If it runs, it runs. And on NQ, we're still holding this sideways movement. It got back, it broke the high slightly, but it needs to, after it holds, get confirmation that it's going to keep going. So ES trade is now currently risk-free. And I prefer if I break even with slightly higher above the AI band, but you know, when you're getting in these trades, you can't always make that happen. But it's always good when you can get a break even below, if you're in a buy, that AI band, because that's a pretty good spot to be. Because if that AI band is you know, invalidated by pushing below it, closing below it, then it goes ahead and lets you know that taking a break even is probably a pretty good idea. But yeah, so if we want to see NQ continue to work for us, then it's got to hold these lows. But really what we are in is a place where manipulation can happen. Classic situation of you're in this range right here. And I know it's the 1 minute, so it's not going to be the strongest range, but getting a break out of this range with an impulse candle is good. Is a good indication of a direction that it's going to go. So if it breaks down here with an impulse candle, then it's a good indication that it could go lower, right? But with our price action right now at least being bullish, even that last push we just had, it wasn't much, but it did make a new high. And we've had these equal lows for 40 minutes. So we're definitely in a bit of a range. When I'm looking at accumulation or range, I like to go to the 3, 5, or the 8 and just kind of confirm to see what's going on a slightly higher time frame. So I like to see the accumulation on the 8 minute and then possibly a breakout on the 3 minute or the 2 minute to help give some confirmation of what's going to happen. Because the 1 minute's great for getting those quick entries and looking for what's happening inside of those higher time frame candles. But for stronger confirmation, even going slightly higher in the time frame is going to be better. And because we're scalping today, because of the way the price action is, I like to use the 15 minute as my higher time frame to confirm some things. Like obviously the momentum is to the upside right now. We're not really, and this was a good candle with a good amount of volume, and we got a close above the high of that previous 15-minute candle, which is good. But you can see for the last 45 minutes, we've just been in this range right here. So a nice break to the upside would be great. Like if we could break out of this range and get a bit of a pullback, that could be another possible entry. We're getting a little bit later in the day, and it's a low volume day as it is. So we'll see what happens. Our ES trade is pushing very nicely. Looks like it's getting pretty close to take profit there. Good scalp on a lazy day. And then for this trade that, we were still aiming for that 12, so we could still see that. And as for the NQ trade, we're still holding this one. I mean, we got that 125 points off the bat, this 50 points, but I do want to take a quick peek. Now, again, this is a treat for you, those of you who have been through boot camp, looking at some of our other AI indicators. So we're bullish here. Bullish. Having a pullback here. We're bullish here. So ES is pushing up. And then let's see what the 15-minute says. It's the higher time frame we're looking at right now with scalping. Everything is bullish. See those green bands over the red. Very easy to identify, right? Everything is sloping to the upside. Very good. Pretty sure we hit take profit on our ES trade, so let's go ahead and go back. And we've more than hit take profit. We've actually hit the full 12 points on that original trade. This trade, it hit over 7.5 points. So because it's gone that 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio, I highly recommend trimming or taking all your profit here. As for our NQ trade, well, it hit our TP1 twice, but like I said earlier, I'm still holding because I did so well earlier. But yeah, ES trade taking those took those full profits just because it finally hit that area that I was looking at. So I'm going to pause again and wait for a good amount of time. This time our video is already 25 minutes long and I'm being a little monotone today. So I want to, if ES changes and pushes up a little bit more. Yeah. But again, what I recommend for, our system, if it hits that 1-to-1, a good idea is to bring it up to break even. And with this trade, what we did after that impulse candle, we brought it up to break even and it ended up working out in our favor, hitting our take profit, and it's going above more. We're actually getting close to a 3 to risk to reward ratio. Again, it's a scalp, so it's not that much, but the fact that we only had to, risk 2.5 points for this particular trade, we only risked 3 points for this trade. And then, early in the morning, we had a little bit higher risk because when you have because of that, those big movements. But this one went straight to take profit. This one took a little bit, but so 3 risk to reward ratio on this one, 7.5 points. So what a nice day. This trade finally hit its full 12 points, but we took majority of our profit around here when it hit 9.5. Because that was already a solid, 3 risk to reward ratio. All right, I'm going to pause here and update to see if NQ is actually going to break above these areas we want to break above, and will it break above that 79 area and get all the way up to our 100. Right, yeah, so we had a wonderful live trading session today. We scored 50 points here, over 30 points here. On this particular trade, we scored over 8 points on ES. On this trade, we scored 7.5 points. Both of these getting to a risk to reward ratio of over 3, and both of these hitting their 1-to-1 take profit areas. So we went 100% today and did very, very well. So hope you all were able to take some trades, get some good wins with us today, and look forward to doing this more with you tomorrow. And I'll update you on the NQ trade to see if it does actually go above and hit my targets. If it hits that 79 and gets above to that 100. All right, everyone. Have a good one. I'll talk to you later.